Welcome to the Dare to Grow Show. I'm Sarah Morgan, and my mission is to help you take daily action in your business, show up consistently and confidently for your audience, and earn more with digital products and programs. I know you have a rad vision for your life and business, but do you dare to grow? Let's jump into this episode and talk about how to make it happen. All right, welcome to episode 96. I've got Hazel in the podcast closet with me today, so if you hear anybody moving around back there, it's her. She's just laying behind me as I'm sitting on the ground. I think she's a little jealous because I either adopted or was adopted by a family who just moved into my building, and they are refugees from Afghanistan. They have 5 kids, so I've been hanging out over there a lot this week, which is why Hazel is very attached to me right now. I can't even hide in the closet and record my podcast alone. But also, you're getting kind of a short episode this week because I think I got like 2 hours of work done this past week. But well worth it to spend time with that family and kind of help them get settled. And shout out to anybody that donated. I posted something in my stories. I made a little wish list for them. So if you donated, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those kids were so happy when things started showing up for them a couple days ago. So I really appreciate you. But today we are going to talk about launching. This is a listener question, so thank you to whoever sent this in. We're going to talk about how to bounce back and keep going when your launch didn't really go the way you planned or you didn't hit your goals. Doesn't seem like it, but it happens to everyone. So to start this episode, I wanted to share one of the things I learned while being a circus performer. So if you missed that part of my story, I trained, taught, performed aerial arts like Cirque du Soleil, but I was not that good. But for almost 10 years, I did that. And I would have students doing routines. And sometimes after a performance, they would say things like, that was so bad, or I totally skipped that one move, or I was like spinning too fast and it threw off my timing. And I would always remind them that the audience has no idea what you were doing. They didn't have a list of the skills. They didn't know what drops were supposed to go with what parts of the music. And so unless you show that outwardly, the audience has no idea and they think you were amazing and it could have been your worst performance ever. The same thing goes for business. Unless you're putting your whole plan out there and all of your goals and your financials, nobody knows. So first, we need to just ditch any shame that's coming in around what you were trying to do or you didn't get to do, or you did, but it didn't go the right way. And also, no one thinks better or worse of you or your business because of your launches. If you can fulfill the promise of your offer, that is all that matters. The other thing to remember is that nothing in business is pass-fail. It's not like in school where you're going to either pass or fail a class. You can always try again. You can always launch again. You can always adjust your product or your marketing and do it again. And you will, no matter what. We don't do things and just launch them one time ever. You can take a piece of it and sell it as a workshop. You can take a group program and offer a few one-on-one spots. There's never a point where your launch doesn't go well and you're not allowed to continue. You can and you will launch over and over again. And sometimes when we run open-close enrollments where people can only purchase for a certain number of days, it feels like we can only sell that thing at that time. You have 1 week or however many days to make all that money, and then you have to close the cart and you cannot open it again until the next planned enrollment. That is so stressful. Like whoever came up with that, or, if we just all kind of went like, yeah, that's how it goes, I think. That's way too stressful. And it puts so much pressure on every single launch, which is why a lot of people get scared to do that. Especially at the beginning, your launches are going to be a bit of a roller coaster until you have enough data to see what works. So number one, you might have to fail a little bit before you get to the wins. That's just kind of how life goes. And we get so many things on demand now that we kind of forget that, I think. But 2, there are no rules. There are no rules, and you are allowed to do an extra open enrollment or extend your enrollment if that's what you need to do. And also, don't believe everything you hear people say about their own launches everyone is on social media trying to look successful. So they might say they extended enrollment because so many people missed the deadline, but you never know. Maybe they just missed their goal, or they're giving it extra time. Or someone might be posting how they surpassed their goal, but they felt like garbage the whole time. And you'll never hear that part of it. They're just going to be out there celebrating. I feel like whenever somebody launches and they have a huge success, they should be required to say how many times they already launched that thing before, or what they launched previously, because it's rarely the first launch. It's like launch number 14 or launch number 27. Or it may be a brand new product, but they've created and sold other things before. So they have a process and they know what works. So ditch any of that comparison crap, because you'll never know the real story unless you go and work for that person. And dwelling on that stuff and letting it bring you down is such a waste of time. Use it for inspiration and motivation, but watch for any negative feelings that creep in. One of the things that's amazing about creating products online is that you get so much data on what is working and what's not working. So instead of feeling like your launch either passed or failed, look at it as a process to collect data, because you're essentially running a huge marketing campaign really quickly. Every time I launch, I test new emails, new ads, new graphics, new events, new lives, new stories. I have this system that I know works, and then I always throw in a few extra things to see how I can make it work better. So after your launch, look at the numbers on every post, every email, every video. Look at who commented, who DM'd you, what questions they asked. Find out why people bought and also why they didn't. There are always a handful of people who open every email and they click every link and then they still don't buy. Yes, we can totally see that you're doing that. So talk to them, email them, or hop on Instagram, get in their DMs and find out why, what's attracting them and what stopped them from purchasing. You can literally ask those questions. We like to overcomplicate things and try and figure out a sneaky way to find out. But just tell them, hey, I just finished my launch. I saw that you opened a lot of the emails and clicked links, and I just was wondering why you didn't end up purchasing. Make it easy. And then for the people that did buy, what was the trigger? So can you find the last email they clicked on or the last video they watched? Again, you might have to ask them. So if you can't find stats, ask them. This is one of the reasons I really like using ConvertKit. Shout out to ConvertKit. I can see if I go into that subscriber's profile, what they clicked on last, what emails they clicked, what sequences they went through. I can see what webinars and products and challenges they went through before. So if your email list is not giving you that much data, ConvertKit is going to be really good for you. And I have a free training. It's going to walk you through how to set it up and all of the basics. It's at exosarah.com/ConvertKit. And yes, that's totally my affiliate link if you want to sign up through it. Okay, one of the other benefits of having a small enrollment is that you can learn a lot from those buyers, because you will have the time to track them down, research all of their data, and actually speak to them one-on-one. The answers to your questions can help you figure out if you need to adjust your messaging or the way you were promoting things. Maybe you spent a lot of time on lives and that's not really your audience's thing. Often, and especially when it's a big fail, we immediately feel like something is wrong with the product and we ditch it and start making something new, or we feel like, oh, I'm a total failure now. Obviously, nothing will ever work because this product fails. But that's your expertise. Your product is probably amazing. And what you most likely need to focus on is figuring out what your audience needs to hear to get excited about buying. Yeah, now Hazel's going to smell everything that's in this closet. Oh, shh. Because everyone who follows you or is on your email list or reads your blog, they are interested in what you are doing and how you can help them. That's why they followed you. They're looking for the information you have. So you have to do some investigating to figure out what they need to know or do to be able to take the next steps. And even if you didn't get the sales you wanted or any sales at all, you still put your offer in front of tons of people who now know how you can help them. Someone might be planning to buy next time you launch. One of my favorite students told me that she waited 2 years to enroll. She was just hanging out on my email list, following me on Instagram until it was the right time for her life and her business to join the program. So you never know who's creeping around, watching what you're doing, and waiting for the right time to join. While the purpose of doing a launch or an open enrollment is to generate sales and generate them quickly, it's also a giant advertising campaign. So no matter how many bought, you still reached a ton of people and gave them all the info about your products or your services. So now they are all better equipped to buy next time you launch or you open enrollment. And honestly, until this question popped up, I kind of forgot about my failed launch in 2021. I had my own failed launch, but I've launched so many times that it's not something I dwell on anymore. The night the cart closed, I was like a little bummed, but I was also looking at all the data, what emails people were opening, what social media posts did the best, who was hanging out in my DMs, and then I just took that information and moved forward. You do not have to hold on to a quote unquote failed launch as proof that you've failed or that you're going to fail. It's proof that you went for it, that you gave it a shot, and now you know so many more things about launching and about your audience that you can apply the next time around. So collect the data, learn what you can, make some adjustments, and then launch that thing again. If you launched last week and it didn't go that well, get your ducks in a row and launch again a couple weeks from now or next month. Remember, there are no rules, so do whatever feels good and will get you to where you want to go. You can do it, especially whoever sent me that question. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hop over to Instagram if you want to discuss launching. You can find me at XO Sarah Morgan, and I'll talk to you again soon. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, or if you are looking for help to market and grow your business, head over to daretogrow.co. That's daretogrow.co and join us in Dare to Grow. It's my membership for solopreneurs looking to simplify their marketing, show up with confidence, and finally grow their online business. You will get instant access to all of the trainings, the twice monthly coaching calls, our monthly planning and goal setting call, and our super supportive Facebook community filled with solopreneurs just like you. Seriously, it's so good. If that sounds like something you need, link is in the show notes or visit daretogrow.co, and I will see you inside.